Hello, and thank you for joining us for our series, New Life, with Dr. Rav Michael Laitman. Hello, Nitza Mazaz. Hello. And we're happy for you to join us about working about business in the new world. We want to continue and develop this subject. We think it's huge, full of potential, and we want to learn about the integral approach to life, how it is implemented in the subject of work. We all work in various organizations and jobs, but actually our work is divided. There's the family. If I'm married or not, I have the family side of life and my friends, but most of my time as an adult I spend in the organization where I work, the job that I have. Therefore, it's very important for us to develop the conceptual idea of the integral approach inside corporations, organizations, places where people develop and realize themselves in life, and where they spend most of their time, most of their attention is put there. Nitza, please tell us where we were in the previous talks and where we want to go with the talk today. So in the previous talk, you presented your approach in the framework of the convention, the HR executives, and your special approach was really presented to the CEO and executive team, which is the actual team that decides whether to hire your consulting services. How was it received? It's very interesting and very new and very breakthrough, and at the same time requires a lot of verifications. You need practical tools and an understanding, the ability of how to implement it inside a company and an organization. So the first conversation with the CEO, that the first challenge that the CEO and his team is dealing with is how we build in the first phase. What's the strategy for the new year, for the next 2 years? One of the biggest challenges is there's a lack of ability at the moment to see the wider map, where this market is going, what the trends are. We know the market is very unstable at the moment. Everything is dynamic. It's all dizzy. It's hard to anticipate what's going to happen. And nobody's doing it. It's as if it's moving by itself. Yes, it's moving by itself. I can say it's the executive team. We hire lots of consultants, organizational consultant strategy that help us understand and learn and see this wide map. And why is it so important? Because we can't see a bit further forward, so it's hard for us to direct our organization, to see actually where our organization is in relation to the external environment, to the market, the competition we have in the market, other organizations, clients, suppliers, distributors. We have a very big arena we work in, and it's very important for us to understand our place and our influence on this environment, this business environment. So maybe the first question about our ability to build a strategy, we want to build the strategy for the next year or two, and maybe see the wider picture and provide us with direction, because the direction at the moment is what we're missing the most. At this point, I'd like to say, before you begin, in every organization, every executive and CEO, whether it's a big organization or small, it's global, it doesn't matter. Every executive team is always building its strategy forward. Otherwise, the organization cannot exist. And this thing of building a strategy is the nut that every person, responsible person, is trying to crack to take their whole hundreds of people or tens of thousands of people depends which level the organization operates at. He wants to take them forward. It's like the crown of all the processes. And actually, what does it demand? It demands thought, analysis, understanding processes. It understands having vision of forecasting where things are going. And then he can grab the wave in time. And then he came out successful next to an organization that missed the wave. What we'd like to develop in this conversation with you is not just something abstract, but you're presenting to us, teaching to us from conversation to conversation. We're getting to know from you more and more this special integral approach in relation to life. It's not just building a strategy, but rather based on the approach of the integral reality. What are the highlights? Integral. How can we take our strategy forward? That's the question. What highlights within the world the integral approach can we offer to an organization? Doesn't matter which organization, doesn't matter which country. He needs to take into account when he's building the strategy. Then we'll continue, but that's the main thing, the title. First of all, the difference between what we had previously in the development of technology, industry, commerce, etc., of all business, is that everyone advanced where they saw they could get in. Their egoistic desire broke through to there and gave them direction. The main thing is that you have a sense like a dog that smells in each place. And then here and here, let's jump here, there. Let's get some consultants with that special sense. They can smell what's happening in the field. They check, they discover, even agents that are revealing to you options, and you check how much will it cost, how much time, which direction, etc. Who am I for? Who's against it? That's how they used to build strategies for social development, to investigate the market. Today we have a different problem. The market is saturated. There's nothing to add. And development, linear development, the usual development that we were in up till now, doesn't work anymore. What will you come out now with to the market? There's batteries like this, computers, all these things, they're finished. So they're talking about technologies and printers, 3D printers, and that you'll be able to get a cup or a steak out of the printer, all kinds of stuff. Soon we'll also be printing people from those printers. We don't have today the knowledge how to develop, what we can offer to people and to the world in general. What do we have in the organization that we need, by organizing it on the inside, to see new ways? If always the ego is pushing us forward and guiding us, and based on our inner inclinations, showing us which way to profit more, then today we don't have that. Today we see that in every place there's like a blockade. First we need to see and understand that it's not a blockade. It's a blockade to the old approach. And for the new approach, the integral approach, you have 36 degrees new space where there's no one. Whoever goes up to there will have everything, a whole world. You go up to the next floor, the second floor, floor B, and there's no one there. Do whatever you want there, but only according to the rules of the integral approach. In other words, what the world will be missing is everything that will support integralness, the law of nature, and the framework that nature is presenting to us is putting us into the second floor. But it turns out that if we'll be in an organization that's organized well in an integral manner, then we'll go ourselves up to the second floor and we'll know how to arrange ourselves. The rest of the organizations that don't have an integral approach, they will definitely need to go up, and they'll discover they're in a place where they don't know how to, they won't know their way around there at all with the new conditions. Because what the world will be lacking are integral services, the integral connection. That everything will work based on integralness. New software programs, a new approach between organizations and corporations, new approach between countries and governments and various organizations. And they will all be connected to the extent that you won't be able to build like a health system in one country if it's not connected to the other organizations. And it has to be connected to the health organizations in the whole world. What the world will be missing, that all its organizations will go toward the integral connection inside the organization and outside the organization. Nature is pushing us from one side, and we have to be prepared on the other side. Nature, you mean social evolution? Yes, yes. The new framework of the human society. It's like, you know, soon winter's coming, I need a coat, a warm coat. I need warm sheets. I need something else, warm shoes. It's the same thing here. You need to prepare yourself for the world that's coming. That's called the next world. That's coming, that should come to us in a good way, that will be prepared, that will prepare the warm coat. We need to be prepared for it. So the integral education is intended for that. First of all, that you should know which framework you're going into, whether you like it or not. It's not up to us. It's evolution. The more that we're ready, and if we're prepared properly, and then we'll be the first, then apart from that, apart from falling into bankruptcy and everything happening in the world, we will thrive. Afterwards, we will provide others with services. That's exactly what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. How to make a breakthrough. Renewal is the most single important attribute in the world. Whoever grasps the first trend and breaks through and leads, that's what's important to corporations. That's what they're interested in, the breakthrough to make the change, to lead to the change. That's the biggest asset an organization can have. Organizations that are existing for dozens of years, they maintain their leadership and their innovation because that's their advantage, that's their edge. But now they can fall really hard because their approach for innovation is old. That's exactly what we want to develop here. If small businesses, let's say, that live, you know, small businesses, the world of small businesses, they can survive somehow, help here, help there. But the big ones, if they don't grasp direction, it's the end of them. So let's continue forward. We define the direction well, so I'm Going back to our title for today, we want highlights based on the integral approach for building a strategy for an organization. Maybe give us some questions, it'll be easier. There's a team that prepared questions. The business environment is very competitive. It's not simple. Our goal is to be leaders in the market. Until today, we developed new services with added value. They gave us the ability to maintain our leadership in the market. And at the moment, we have a feeling that there's nothing to innovate and there's nothing to invent. It's all been invented. So what's the added value as an organization that we can bring to the market and to the environment based on the integral approach? The integral approach says that out of a new connection that we are now going to develop between organizations that are in the same place that we are, and organizations that are completely different, even foreign to us, that we come with them together to the integral approach. With this approach, we'll discover new opportunities for all kinds of additions that we will need to create and perform, and all kinds of services that we will need to perform between us. The integral approach changes completely the order, the world order, at all different levels. It's culture, education, family, communications, industry, banking systems, financial systems, the economic systems, the way a person relates to nature, the entertainment industry, tourism, vacation, free time. Those are very big industries nowadays. When we reach the integral approach for all these things, which at the center of this network is all of humanity that is connected, it's all connected in one connection. Then inside humanity that's connected like this in the integral network, we're adding all kinds of types of connections. The fact that we're all connected, that's nature revealing to us that we're connected. There's some pipes that connect us all together. It's like in fusion. We're all connected. Like lines of communication, like a network. This is a natural network. And we need to add to it our communication networks. And in everything that we exist, the way we split up whatever we do all day, culture and education, health, security, distribution of food, industry, the banking communication system, financial, economic, all these systems, we need all these systems will adapt themselves to this new network from the side of nature. They need to, all these networks need to be adapted to the same network that nature is now revealing between us. If we suit ourselves in that way, then we will gain. We are advancing forward. For sure, we will exist and thrive. And in accordance with that, At this point in time, the transition to the new connection, the integral connection between everyone, is actually the problem. That's the trend. That's what we'll demand of all of us. If we don't go to it, then we'll tear up all our connections between us, and then there'll be a very big crisis. Because nature is presenting that we're all connected like a family. And despite that connection, we're starting to go crazy with one another to fight. That's a war. That's a world war, a real world war, not just in Europe somewhere, but a real world war. Or we will understand where we are, and then we need to adapt ourselves. Now, how do we adapt ourselves in a certain field, let's say? I understand you want something practical and simple. We need to see it depends, first of all, what we create, what we do. Everything now has to answer the integral connection between everyone. In other words, I now need to say to see, give me an example. An organization, say a mobile organization. If I now break through all the standard things and come out with a handset that is friendly and answers all the demands, that connects all the types of mobile phones, that operates in a completely integral manner with everyone, that connects me with computers, that it doesn't do like it does now, that they divide things up. This is my sector, nobody goes in, this is my sector. So this item doesn't suit that one, etc. But now if I work if I make something completely new, above everyone, I'm working towards the connection between everyone. Of course, I am profiting, but it's because I'm suiting myself to that trend that nature is demanding. You have to see the future picture, and as much as possible to get closer to it. Don't look at the amount of people that will be fired. You're not building an industry to keep everyone occupied. You're building everything only to fill the communication, the connection between people. If you do something, it's only to fulfill the connection between people, nothing else. Then you will succeed. What do you mean, Phil? Meaning that you operate according to the connection nature is revealing. What you're creating, producing, your services, they have to fill the connection between people. They have to be adjusted, your acts, with the network that's being revealed. If it's possible to expand a little bit, I understand at this point there's the whole secret. If we truly understand what you're showing us, this network, then we'll know how to direct ourselves. We'll know how to suit. We just don't see it. We don't understand it. So if you can define a bit more the principles of the network, how does it work? How can you adapt yourself to the network if we don't feel it? I don't know how I can describe to myself a network, a corrected network. I understand our networks more or less, not completely. What's working today? How to make the transition to the new way. I only know one thing. If we maintain our current state, we will reach bankruptcy. That's what happened with the cars in the United States and other industries. Very big factories are closing down now in Italy. The steel company, 25,000 people. That's 150,000 people that are dependent on that. That's the biggest in Europe, that factory closed down. All these things, it will all fall one by one. For it not to collapse, I need to understand that my organization needs a new approach. And I have to understand that inside the organization, I need to organize a new force that will be matching the new network of nature. From the smallest worker right up to the CEO, everyone will be in the understanding, the feeling, which type of work, which type of connection humanity has to switch to. Because at the end of the day, what's an organization? It doesn't matter what they produce. It's either services or they make steel or something else. It's a connection between humans. We need to understand that we have to look at these things in an integral manner. I'm trying to see myself, and this is how everyone needs to be inside the organization from their force, that they will already be a small stain that suits this integral network. This means these people themselves in the organization are already going up to the second floor. The factory is still on the first floor, but they are already on the second floor, all of them. It means they have the brains, not an egoistic brain, but an integral brain, not individualistic. Okay, let's put it in the right words. So it's still egoistic, but it's integral. So first of all the workers of the organization are already on the second floor. And then you can begin making changes with them, making changes inside the organization itself, how they need to be connected between them and in the new way, and how they need to be to prepare for changes of their work, their product, their produce, what they produce. In other words, their approach to life, to the environment, to society, and to the world must be, first of all, a friendly approach. That strengthens the connection between everyone. They have to begin creating things that belong to the integral approach for connection. And then they will always have support from nature. Just like today, we are in a crisis and heading towards general bankruptcy. It's because we're not suiting ourselves to nature. when they change their approach, they will be matching nature. And this is where the success will come from. What do you want from me? Talk a bit. The question actually that I asked before, we always brought new things. What's the added value? The added value from before no longer works, and you can't sell it anymore. I walk around in the world, and now when I walk around, I see people don't even go into stores. People used to go shop. It used to be a pastime. They'd go to a store. Now they go in just to look around, sit in the coffee shop. But there's not real shopping going on like before. Not because of a lack of money, but because of a lack of desire for it.
ולכן אנחנו צריכים להבין שצריכים כאן לייצר
And here we need to create only those things that will help a person be connected with everyone. The organization will have to replace its services, its products. It has to advertise itself as being matching the new integral approach, because it brings a person to the understanding what the new world is. Why were we so happy in the development of new things before cars, even bicycles, cars, computers, cell phones? Because these are things that brought us a step forward. In the new world, the step forward can only be in the equal, mutual, wide connection with everyone, the general level. And therefore, I don't know how to put it. It's a very big change that it's hard to express. We need to see the world is going towards a stage where a person will fill himself by the good connection between people, and not by new gadgets, fancy new products that will provide him with his personal lacking. That only if it brings him to connect to the new society, the new integral society, he won't be hiding behind a computer and cell phone like he is today, but rather he'll feel that he's going out of himself and going to the new connection. It will come gradually. Just like today, the internet gives us connection, but everyone's still by themselves. At the end of the day, the internet will develop in a way that will cause a person to open himself, discover himself, not to hide behind the screen, but rather discover himself. The same thing
אני לא יודע, צריכים עוד לדבר.
I don't know. We need to talk. You guys talk. So the other question is, actually up until now, we continued growing and developing every year. There was growth. There was natural. And it was expressed that the profits grew and the market grew. It was all fake. Because a long time ago, we've started making things that we have to throw out after 2 years to make new things. It's not that we have a need for them. The food waste and clothes, everyone has enough for 10 people in their house. It's all just over consumption, fake, artificial. Let's say if I bring it back to my perspective, I'm the CEO of an organization. From my perspective, the organization was developing, growing, it expanded. And the question at the moment is a very critical question. How do we continue to grow and develop in the correct and healthy manner according to your approach? You cannot approach a consumer the way you did until now. He won't buy from you what you're making. We see that the consumer is losing taste for all the new things. It's losing an appetite for it, and with all our commercials and advertising channels, we sell them all these things. All these things are just for selling. This whole industry, people are not buying. They're not using. And it comes from a lack of desire for it. We can no longer attract them to new things. If before we would sell them a ticket to the moon, there's nobody that wants to go to the moon. Okay, there's a few crazy people, rich people that are ready to pay for that. They wanted to develop airplanes that fly for 1,000 people. People have gotten into a new world, completely, a new level. Therefore, that CEO has to change his approach. Change it to what? He needs to see the future world, which does not work according to... Today I read an article that the new world has to switch to 1 day's work of 2 hours. So what will all the people do? What will be with all the profits that they're counting on? Let's go back a second. You explained to me how my consumers are fulfilled. I know that they're less interested in all the new innovation and gadgets. It's not that they have everything. They have everything, so I'll make new things. But if they have everything, we'll cause the things to become broken. So they'll need new things. But rather, their desire has disappeared. That's what I wanted to ask you. If you're looking a few years ahead, you're saying, look, the market of customers will be more and more difficult because they are less and less wanting what I'm coming to sell them. Yes, that's the general trend? Okay. Now, so people will want only necessary things for life, nothing more. And where will their desire be? Okay, they don't want that. What will they want? A person is a desire to fill himself with pleasure, with filling. The filling will only come from the network, only from this good connection between people. only from him contributing and receiving from them, from the feeling of warmth that he feels he's giving and the feeling of warmth that he feels that he's receiving, meaning the new product, the new product is the way we relate to others, our attitude, the relations between people, how we relate to others. So if that's the direction, so how do I adapt my organization to that? That you support with your product to discover this new, warm, integral relation between everyone. If your product supports that and strengthens it and highlights it somehow, then it has place. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So, I mean, you've given me a goal. I still need to understand it, but there's a goal, and I start to understand that I have to direct myself and my products and my services. If I want to continue growing and developing in a healthy manner, I have to actually see what the goal is. So it's actually what the next thing is. We're always thinking, what's the next trend? And now you just told me the next trend. That will be the product, the most in-demand product. And for everyone, you'll be able to sell it to all 7 million people, 7 billion people in the world. You'll have a market, unlimited market. What do you mean? And every moment will be like new, because every moment a person wants a better relation from people and also to have the opportunity to give back that good way he relates to others. I'm talking about forward, but that's where we're heading. That's where we're heading toward. Nature is obligating us. Let me conclude and tell me if I understood correctly. We are going from that network we talked about before that's being revealed. The network is being revealed, the connection between us, the mutual connection between everyone, that we are connected. That's it. And now, connected can be in all kinds of situations, less so or good. So the more that we reveal the interdependence, we will need, either in bad or in good, to reach a good connection, because that's what our life depends on. Our mood, my whole situation in life depends how I am connected to others. Because it's like I'm connected with everyone, to everyone in handcuffs. So if your product helps me be connected with others, if it helps me to get a good attitude from others towards me, then it has justified. It will be in demand. It has a right to exist. That's general. This trend from nature is clear to us, the social evolution. A person will live from the good attitude from others to him and from him to others. That is the type of desire that is being revealed in us. In an inner war, an evolution, in a global crisis, bankruptcy, that's what's being revealed. That's the new lacking that's coming. If before I could fill myself in a personal way, I fought, I killed, I stole, doesn't matter what I did, I filled myself. I'm a hero compared to everyone. I'm strong, I'm healthy, I'm successful. Today, no. Today, I can be all those things, a hero, successful, only on the condition that I'm connected to others. Based on my good connections with others, that's how you will measure success. Please expand. No, please expand. Success in the number of good connections in the pipes, that I'm giving abundance to everyone and I'm receiving abundance from everyone. This is how I will measure my success, to the extent that I'm open for input and output with others. Like pipe works. Not just I'm in the middle. I'm connecting everyone. I'm in integration with everyone. I'm providing everyone and receiving from everyone. And I feel integrated and connected with the entire world. That will be the drive of consumers in the coming years. That will be the ruler with which the consumer, we're all consumers after all. I'm a consumer, you're a consumer. This is how you'll weigh a person. That's how you'll weigh him, how much he's worth. To what extent his connections with others is open to both ways. This is how he will measure his own satisfaction. The consumer, he will acquire things in accordance with, if the product he buys from you will provide this filling with the future vision of the market. This will be the basic necessity that will drive all other processes. Yes, this is what we will need to serve. An open network of connections, complete between everyone. So all industries, all culture, education, everything we do as humans in this world must join and fill and support this network, this pipe work. I'm translating and concluding. Tell me if I'm saying it correctly. And I'm comparing today to tomorrow. Today, you go to buy something. You buy something that you feel will make you feel better. Doesn't matter if it's vacation or a product or something physical. You buy it based on thinking that it will make you feel better tomorrow. And this is the change. This is the evolution as consumers. The evolution in the market will be that tomorrow you will measure less if I'll buy this product or service. I will have less things changed inside of you. Your vessels of reception, they will be sensitive to the attitude of humans to you and your attitude to others. And you will feel that in the normal connection. You'll feel desperation. I'm not missing anything. To buy another shirt, I don't know. This, I don't know. The only thing I've left, I'll maybe take some drugs. I don't know what to do with my life. That's it. People will begin descent in consumerism because they don't need it. They aren't desiring this consumer desire that they had, let's say, 50 or 70 years ago. The Americans thought, no, from here on we can just develop. No, they don't want to. Our lacking is not dependent on us. It's not dependent on advertising. In advertising, you can renew it and you can bring some innovation in a mobile phone or something, but the market won't stand it. People aren't discovering. There's a few million people running after the new cell phones as if it's adding something to their life. It's over. It's over. And what's coming? A desire that is completely new from its foundation, that we enjoy the connection between people, because the network that is being revealed is obligating us. It's obligating us. That's it. So the consumer is going through like a metamorphosis. You tomorrow, we talked about you today. They were squeezing the lemon. Another generation of the product, it's coming to an end. And the next level is that you as a consumer, you will buy products and services only in accordance with this network, which means you will be willing to take money out of your pocket as long as it serves the new desire, the connection between everyone. The next generation of services and products is something that will help you feel more connected to others. Okay, I got it. So this is the main principle, the ruler. If I start concluding this first discussion about the subject, you're giving me one ruler. It's not a ruler. The ruler is old, and this is like new. Okay, you're giving me a principle with which I can measure where I want to take my organization. If my product or service that I'm offering consumers will cause them to feel more connected to others, I will succeed. If not, I won't succeed. Correct. I understood the principle. Now I want to translate it to myself. Does this principle work for all types of products and services and organizations? It's starting to catch on now for all of humanity. You will see it precisely in the fact that all the countries, thousands are going out into the street to the public places, the fountains, because they want connection. They want unity. Do you think they care about all those issues? What they don't understand it, but what's really on fire for them is that they're together, that they're connected, that they feel that they are belonging to each other. All the terror organizations actually come from that feeling. All the Nazi organizations that are being discovered in Europe, it all comes from that also. A desire to feel ourselves together. Only in a corrupt way, because it's on other people's account, but it's evolution. Now I want to know, for each product or service that my organization or other organizations create and launch to the market, can we add like a spice or a color? There's added value. You're offering added value. She wanted to define the strategy. What is the added value? You're saying the added value is, will it cause the consumer to be more connected? We can add that to everything that we acquire today? If at its foundation it is not against the trend. The trend is, like say I make ammunition. This is another principle. So define it. There are things that they have to be taken off the shelf. Let's say this ammunition. These organizations help keep order. Everything, there's a place for everything correctly in this integral approach. But in everything that connects between people. That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking if there's a principle of the connection between people. Can I go to any organization that makes a product or service and sells it to the public, you, me, her, and I can bring them this principle of the integral approach that says tomorrow you want to be successful, you need to format what you're doing so it will add good connection between people. Can we add this thing to every organization, every service? Actually, yes. It's a very important principle. That's why it's an overlying principle. I need an example. I need 2 or 3 examples from different industries. So let's try to give a few different industries, say products, services, how they can transform themselves, transfer themselves. It's a new paradigm. It's not a new generation. Generation is a mobile phone that's a bit better. But like you said, it's the second floor. I'd like to, therefore, inside the organization, in its awareness, you can't bring it to the new state. That's what the Russians can do in their empire. What Russians? Russians in the revolution. They didn't, first of all, educate the people, and they tried to do it with the KGB. The CEO can't do it forcefully. Give a command, and that's it. It has to be, the organization itself has to be integral to succeed. It has to be in its own organization. Inside the organization, there needs to be relations like this. We're talking about many changes inside people and the people inside organizations. They have to become friendly, really close to one another, to feel that they're connected to one another, that in that they are matching the new world. And then from inside, they'll get ideas how in our work and in our approach we can help humanity be more integral. And in this way, new attitude, that's where the success will come from. Let's get a question and example. Hang on, I just want to say something. There's organizations, even small organizations, not corporations. There's small organizations. I want to know if this principle works for small organizations. No. The principle you said, how we can help humanity be more connected and good, that's at the huge global corporations. But say I'm a little company from Hadera. Only from your friendly attitude to the world, you will see what you can add to the world in its increased connection by enhancing the connection, the integral connection, and in that that's how you'll develop a product. There has to be an atmosphere like that in the organization. And then they'll feel you can't come from the side and sell something to the CEO. They themselves have to see the way from their work, from their approach. They will see how to develop new things, how to go out into the market with the new services, new products. And now when you talked, I had this picture that if until today in the market, they're making products and services and taking them out to the market, then tomorrow the products and services that will go out into the market, will they go through a filter like quality assurance? Not even. You will give birth to them only from the new approach. What is missing? Like you look at a baby and think, what is my baby missing to develop properly? Maybe I'll buy this, maybe I'll buy that. In a manner that you first of all work out of love. A good attitude. That's the only way to maintain it. Otherwise it is linear and egoistic, and it won't happen. That's the new approach, futuristic approach. It's breakthrough. I know someone that made a book called The Last Generation. You know him? It's a very high-level principle. How would you like to conclude? We'll continue, but is there a conclusion? Let's say that the added value, let's conclude. We looked for added value in one sentence. What is my added value as an organization that's developing this new approach? The actual development is the added value. If I have this approach, that will be my advantage. I'm successful. I'm on the second floor. And afterward, to see where am I, what can I do there? But only from the new approach, only from the good, friendly approach to everyone, not to my pocket, but to see what they're lacking, what they are lacking. And that's what I create. Everything else will collapse anyhow. Those are the new conditions. Thank you very much, Rav Laitman. Thank you, Nitza. Thank you for being with us. We'll continue, and you're welcome to join us next time. All the best.